All right, so how to analyze markets. This is a question that I get asked a lot too. You know, if I call Dan or Cassie up today and say, hey, you want to sell your house? They're going to tell me to pound sand. They just moved in. They don't have equity. They don't have, well, they probably do, but you know, they're not ready to move right now. But an absentee owner who has a house in Charleston, South Carolina, that lives in California, who has tenants that are in there that he's getting code violations on, I call him up. He's going to be like, yeah, what you got? Especially during COVID, when a lot of folks were shut down, they weren't paying rent. I was able to pick up a ton of properties at a steep discount because I was willing to deal with the problems. And what I would do is I would go to the tenants and say, hey, I understand it's crazy times. How about this? Instead of me asking you for back rent, why don't I pay for you to get into a new place? Cash or keys. So they're like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll pay to move. I'll get a little money in my pocket. So then I got the asset at a deep discount. I help the seller out, and then I also help the tenant. So in that scenario there, it was a win-win-win.
One of the many things we learned from being down was that I was not fully educated enough on how to manage people and how to handle finances and how to handle everything that comes along with. Just because you're a builder doesn't necessarily mean you can handle everything turnkey, right? So that was one of the things that we decided that, you know, we're going to have to really dump some money into personal development. Now we spend around 6 figures a year just in masterminds and classes and all these types of things to further educate ourselves and be around all the right people that are, you know, several steps ahead of us.
So over the next 2 days, we're going to go over fix and flipping, credit, private lending, hard money, gap funding, branding and marketing, wholesaling, long-term finance, short-term rentals, staging, systems, processes, virtual real estate investing, and multifamily. When these guys get up and talk, you're like, oh, I draw to this guy more than I draw to him, or draw to her more than I draw to whoever. And that's just part of coming to these types of events. So, you know, we just encourage people to attend more of these. And we, you know, like I say, we're from Charleston. There's probably 80% of the people in this room are from Charleston. You're like, why didn't you host this event down in Charleston? You know, we wanted to make sure people were going to make the effort, you know, and you guys did. And so, you know, that's, you're taking steps in the right direction.
Some of these masterminds that we've gone to, we've learned so much, like so much. Mm-hmm. And not every speaker has been, you know,
not been relatable to us.
Right. And some things we've walked away from, we're like, it really doesn't, you know, relate to us. But there's some that we go to and we're like, wow, I wish they had shared just a little bit more. I wish they had given us more nuggets and secrets and really gone into it. And I think some of these events, they're missing that. So, you know, we're pushing to share that with other people, you know, go
other people that are looking to get into it or kind of already are and trying to expand from doing, you know, one every 6 months or 1 or 2 at a time to really scale it to be substantially more than that. And then, you know, like she said, being real specific about, hey, here's our itemized list of all the stuff that we use. Here's our finishes. You know, here's exactly how we're finding deals. Here's exactly how we're finding contractors. And then have other people come in and explain, you know, how credit works and short-term lending, long-term lending. You know, how does the staging, you know, make a difference for us? How do we decide whether we're going to keep something as a short-term rental or decide we're going to, you know, offload it? I think for us, we just want to, you know, enlighten people with, you know, our experience and, you know, what the possibilities are, and just encourage them to, but you don't want to go in with the mindset that you're only going to be able to, you know, get out of it one way.
I'm Dan Tollens, investor, contractor, husband, and father. My wife Cassie and I have always had a dream of growing an investment business in properties throughout the cities we love. If you know Charleston and Wilmington, these markets will support it. This is Coastal Chronicles.
Obviously, the previous door had a thicker jamb, so it was a little closer. So need to backfill that, put some sort of threshold. So that's the only thing. You just want to make sure it works. All this shit's functional. Mm-hmm. I would have him address this. This is probably for an old window unit or something. Mm-hmm. Either
mud it, or just put a blank plate over it?
Well, I'd disconnect it in the panel, or if it's already disconnected, we can get rid of it. But they can tie up wires and just put a blank over it.
Okay. We were thinking that. The other thing we thought about, which we've done in our old house ourselves, was curtain it. Put a rod up, put a curtain, be a little bit cheaper, maybe. I don't know if this is, there's a lot of awkward.
Don't curtain it, don't move.
You don't think so?
Anything at all.
Okay.
Put backwards over.
Okay.
Just, again, making sure all these work. Got smoke alarms in.
Yep.
Then obviously we're gonna do a buff and coat on the floors.
Yes.
Need another transition here.
Yeah, and I'm thinking this could be, like, I mean, it's really anybody's decision. Should we match it to these? Should we match it to those?
Come off of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Come off of that just because of where it ends. See how the doorway is here?
Yeah.
So.
Okay. This is fun.
So, obviously we want to make sure all of these are opening the right way. I think
Yeah.
This probably needs to be switched over. Hood vent,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then we've got all the backsplash going in, finishing up all your GFIs.
Yep. Like, I mean, in an ideal world, like, I would love can lights in here because it would make a massive difference.
Yeah, obviously it's been sitting for a while. It would have been great to do this 2 or 3 months ago, but I
Yeah.
think we just get rid of it all, take off this little crown, put up 1/2-inch drywall, and then just drop in a can in front of the stove, in front of the sink. I'd probably move this somewhere else, another one over here, and then one in front of the fridge.
Dan is really good. He walks into a house and he says, we're gonna take out this wall, move this here, add this there. That's all him. And, you know, he's also a contractor. So he can easily look at a wall and say, we can take out that wall, it's gonna be fine, we don't need to put a beam in.
Master bathroom's kind of same deal.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed little spots in here. You know, the top, again, this was all framed in, and obviously this had to slope, but I still feel like it's a little.
Yeah, I think you're gonna, be prepared to hear about stuff like this from people.
Yeah.
We've got some drywall that's in the grout here. Try to get all that kind of cleaned up.
We were also thinking probably we need to have one of those
Fan cans.
fan cans
Yeah.
right there.
And then next time I would have the handle here as opposed to there. So if you
Okay.
go in to turn the shower on, you're gonna get wet.
Yeah.
This is to the outside.
It is. Thanks to this redneck named Boomer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He used actual duct tape. So Inspector got us for that one. He said, well, I know it's called duct tape, but you can't use that.
Can't use it on duck. Okay. Yeah. I think one of the other things as we're walking through, it's a dirty job site.
Well, we had a situation with the old crew where I came in after we had that last walkthrough and getting everything ready for rough-in, and they had subbed out to an electrician who came into that laundry room and tore the wall apart. Plumber, same thing, tore the wall apart, pulled out all this insulation, old insulation that's just crumbly,
Yeah.
right? Like it wasn't strips. Left it in the floor, and so we're going through rough-in, and I'm walking through with Tim or whatever his name was, and he's like, I can tell, he's like, good God, like, why does it look like this?
Yeah.
I didn't know it looked like that, right? So
Right.
I showed up to meet him, and I had a heart-to-heart with that dude about that. I was like, we're paying you guys to do this. Like, if there's not a container outside, like, put it in a bag. Like,
Yeah.
run up to Lowe's and just grab some bags. Like, I'll pay you back for bags,
Yeah.
right? Like, don't leave it
Just out
like
in the yard.
this, right? Yeah, don't leave it like this.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you got to set the expectation up front of, whether it's showing them a video or showing them other jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
They know what a clean job site is. And
Yeah.
it isn't, so.
We always buy something that we can add value to. And so we'll buy something, we'll say, all right, this one's gonna be worth, like, say, 300K. Our number, our ratio is 70%. So, we can, as long as we're in at 210 or less, that would be a win for us. But so something that would be, 100K, let's say it needs 50K in work, that's a pretty good spread for us. We have way more singles and doubles than we do home runs. But as we've strategized, we've been able to buy things deeper and buy them better.
Hey, good morning, Earl.
Good morning.
Today you are picking up the can in West Carolina Avenue in Somerville. Once you drop that can on Newington Road, you're going to go to Dunman and pick up another 15 and empty it. My name is Rick Brashear, and I'm the operations manager for Palmetto Container. So we offer roll-off dumpsters, 10 yards, 15s, 20s, and 30s. You know, it may be as small as taking out a tree in their backyard or, you know, pulling up some pavers. So basically we help people make their properties better.
I might not be able to get that can today with the weather. You know, it's pretty tight spot down there, so I got to have a pretty clear view.
Do you need me to come down there and spot you, or?
You might, but if it's pouring down rain, you ain't going to stand out there in the rain. So, plus I got to have a pretty clear vision of going back in that little alley.
Okay.
With the truck. I mean, I only got a couple inches on either side of the truck.
My business partners and I were talking. We were just kind of analyzing where we spent most of our money, and a large chunk of every job was just in trash and in disposal. And we said, man, we got to figure out how to get into the trash business. I was at lunch one day, and he called me and said, hey, call this dude right now. Okay, well, you know, what is it? He said, man, one of my former co-workers just called. He was pitching this guy who owned the dumpster business and said, hey, do you want some money to grow your business? He said, hell no, I want to sell. So while dude was still at lunch with the other guy, I called him, hey, I hear you want to sell your business. And he was like, what? Like, how do you even know that? And he looks at the dude, and the guy's like, found you a buyer. So we bought it with 27 cans, no trucks, and a year later we're at 180 cans and 3 trucks and 5 guys.
Head northwest on Debonair Street toward Hackman Avenue, then turn left onto Hackman Avenue.
Hang on. It's not a very comfortable ride over there. I do know that. Been living here all my life, but there's parts of Charleston I haven't seen before, and this job gives me an opportunity to see it. The most challenging part of the job is going down to the downtown to different locations and alleys that we got downtown Charleston. We got some tight spots down there and a lot of crazy drivers out here, but it's fun.
It's expanding very quickly. You know, we started off as a 1-truck operation almost a year ago to the day, and now we're a 3-truck operation. Dan's built an awesome team. You know, he's handpicked the drivers, handpicked the outside sales team. We also acquired a larger CDL truck. So we have grown 3-fold in approximately 12 months.
Typically, people forget about the dumpster. It's like, oh, I forgot to get a dumpster on site, so they got to call somebody. We're usually there same day. And then they always forget to have it pulled when the job's over. They're like, oh, we got to get this dumpster out of here. We got photos, or we got this, or we got that. So that was kind of, you know, one of our things is, hey, we're owned by people that do construction and also, you know, have experience with using them. You know, our plan was to buy this and have it, you know, one, run itself. So we've hired, you know, some great guys that make it to where, you know, I really don't have to touch it. I usually just call and check in with them, and everything else I can just look at it on my phone. You know, we've really went that route so that we could be pretty much hands off.
Awesome. Haynes, finally good to put a name to the face,
yeah,
man.
Finally.
I talk to you a lot on the phone and texting. So this is your guys' yard?
Yep, this is it.
Nice, nice. So my driver just brings the 30 there. Then how do you guys fill it exactly?
Each afternoon, the guys come back with whatever they have, and they'll do a dump.
All right, is there like a particular day where you guys get deliveries, or just when you run low, you get them in? Or?
Always coming in.
Oh, every day?
Constantly coming in. I was expecting 2 today.
Oh, yeah?
Now, if I contact you, what's a turnaround for getting a new
Typically,
swap?
I try to get next day service. I mean, if you can give it to me, I think you hit me up Friday. Yesterday, I put a couple tires on the truck. It's kind of the nature of the business. When are you calling them in? When they're
Usually toward the end of the day when I get back here, I'll kind of do a walkthrough, because I'll check concrete, I'll check that, I'll check all anything I need delivery on.
Yeah, I see a lot of metal fence here too. Do you guys do scrap metal, or do you?
We do now. Do y'all do recycling as well?
That's something we can talk about. I didn't know that you guys actually done that over the phone, but I may be able to get your can out and take it and recycle it. Are you guys currently using?
We do. Yeah, we've been using this other company for that one.
Looks like you're due
That's
for a haul too.
Yeah, that's recent. And I think he only has one, so he takes it and it's gone for like 3 days and then comes back and we fill it up like right away.
The same day? Okay.
Yeah.
So what's that, about a 10-yarder?
Yeah.
Okay, I may be able to get you a 10-yarder out here. When we acquired Langston Disposal in January, Trey and Haynes had a relationship. Trey's doing some quick fills for him where they have smaller, tear outs. And then we picked up the big business through the relationship with Trey, and then ultimately have built our own relationship. So just continues to grow.
Rick had been between Lowe's and Home Depot for over 15 years, and we started it and we brought the people on. We said, listen, this is not something we're going to be selling. It was going to be, sort of retirement for us, to where hopefully it's printing out, 5 figures a month to each of us. We're a year into it now, and obviously, we kind of met that already in year one. Had some folks approach us about maybe franchising out or getting in some different markets, and that's, something we might look at down the line.